recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Mr. Ben Young. Hello, Ben.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, sir. I'm here with Mr. Chris Hollister. Hello, Chris.
Hey, it's good to be back. I'm not going to say good morning like Ben does because somebody might be listening to this in the evening time. You never know. They could be like, wait, why are they saying good morning? It's not morning for me.
He was saying good morning to me, Chris.
Whatever, man. He is saying hello to the world.
Oh, my God.
Hello, world.
We have two amazing guests today. Mr. Dan Felsenheld is with us today. Hello, Dan.
Hello. I'm so happy to be on the show.
Outstanding. And first-timer Kate Goodwin is with us today. Hello, Kate.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here.
Welcome to the show. I want to get to know both of you a little bit better. We'll start with Dan. Dan, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Oh, boy. The pressure is on. Well, I live in Arlington, Virginia. I'm not originally from here, from New Jersey. Shout out to the Garden State. Something fun about myself. Well, one of the things we're doing is we're raising a puppy for Guiding Eyes for the Blind. So we've had Cam as the name of our puppy. She's now 14 months old, and eventually she'll be going up to for training to hopefully become a guide dog. If she flunks out of that, we might get to have her as a pet, but we're hoping she does like to work. So
what kind of dog?
It's a yellow lab.
Oh,
she's very sweet.
Work.
She's 60 pounds now too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Both a guide dog and a protector. Love it.
That's right.
All right, Kate, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm Kate Goodwin. I'm from Kearney, Nebraska, which is right in the dead center of the state of Nebraska. And I'm a dentist.
Ooh.
I work with my dad. I've got 3 little kids that keep me pretty busy all the time. They're 7, 5, and 3. So it's a wild life at my house.
Wow.
They outnumber you.
Yes, they do.
What is your least favorite thing to do in your work as a dentist?
Anything when someone's in pain is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had far more than my fair share of extensive dental work.
Jonathan, would it be fair to say that you put your dentist kids through college with your dental work?
I mean, I definitely helped. I have 12 crowns. I have at least 4 root canals. half of the teeth in my mouth they're not homegrown. You know what I mean? I'm trading from the other teams.
Job security right there.
That's right. Yeah, they like to keep me happy. Let me tell you.
Jonathan, have you considered dentures at this point?
I have considered dentures. I've considered implants too, but I'm sticking with what I'm doing right now. As long as I can do it, I'm going to do it the way I'm doing it.
I've had my share of crowns, and I broke one of my molars. Just have an implant, and my daughter actually just had to have a root canal last year. She's 19 now.
Oh wow!
She had to have a root canal, which is unusual. But
I haven't been to the dentist since the Bush administration.
What?
Which Bush administration, Ben?
Oh, the older Bush.
The older Bush. Oh my God.
Yes.
Ben.
Yeah, I'm overdue.
Do you floss?
Yeah.
You must floss every day. Cow. That's what you get when you floss?
No comment.
Ben's got a great smile. That's the crazy part. It's just like, how are your teeth not falling out, mister?
Man.
Some people have all the luck.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Good genes? I don't know.
Apparently. All right,
are they comfortable jeans?
This is episode number 302, and we're going to get started with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up. on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And today's Warm It Up Chris is brought to you by Ben Young. So Ben, take it away.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for literally stealing my thunder, Chris.
Oh.
All right, so the Warm It Up Chris question is brought to us today by Amir Ashraf. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Thank you, Amir. That's the first time from Amir, I think.
And just as a shout out, you can always go to triviawarfare.com and submit questions to us. We love using your questions on the show. So if you have questions you want to ask, just send them to triviawarfare.com. There is a link to show you how to do that on there.
What Ben said.
So what I have for the Warm It Up Chris today is a list of inventions and technological innovations. And I want each of you to tell me whether they were created during or as a direct result of World War I or World War II.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Okay, so it's time-based.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go clockwise from my Skype window. So Dan, I'm going to start with you. You get the ballpoint pen. Was that invented during World War I or World War II?
Ooh. I'm going to say World War I.
Correct answer is World War II.
Oh.
It was invented by journalist Laszlo Biro and used by the British Royal Air Force.
Oh, yeah. Biro is another name for a British name for a pen. Sure.
Yep.
You know what? Ballpoint pens made me think about outer space, and maybe it's because I just read The Martian. Do ballpoint pens not work in outer space? Am I remembering this correctly?
They have those special space pens, though, that do work in space.
Because, the weightlessness keeps the ink from getting to the tip of the pen, I think. Yeah,
there's a running joke that says that the United States has spent like $6 or $7 million developing a pen that you could write with in space.
Instead of
the Russians use pencils.
Yes.
Thanks, United States. Jonathan, you get the jet engine.
The jet engine. I am listening. I can't really say I'm listening to the podcast. Hardcore History comes out like once a year at this point, and I just listened to the most recent episode, and it's a World War II based theme for the last couple of years, and it seemed like they already had jets. They were already doing the flying fortresses by the middle to end of the war. They had the Hornets. They had the Mustangs. The Zeros were out there already. There's no way. It has to be World War I.
Correct answer is World War II.
Damn it!
Oh.
I think they had been developing the technology for a long time, but according to Amir, the technology was successfully used by the Germans in the ME-262. I think that was one of their bombers.
Are we saying that it was, I thought the context was invented as a result of, but the way you just used that sounded like first used. And those are different thoughts.
So according to Amir, the technology was successfully used by the Germans in the ME-262 toward the end of World War II. The comment that I was making is that they had been developing the tech, because remember, World War II started in like the 30s in Germany. Mm-hmm. They had been far along in developing the technology. But from what I remember from reading previously, they could have probably like debuted it earlier, but maybe they wanted to do more testing. Maybe
I'm just misunderstanding what a jet engine is versus different types of engines. That's probably more of what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept you being wrong. It's fine.
Didn't they have mostly biplanes in World War I?
Yeah.
That's thinking with the prop planes.
All right, Chris, you get radar.
Radar. If we're talking about O'Reilly, that would be the Korean War. Nothing at all. Wow.
No, I was drinking coffee, but I agree with you. I think that's a legit answer.
All right. So radar. I'm going to say World War I.
Correct answer is World War II.
Dang it.
We have a trend. We have a trend.
Oh, for so far.
Kate, the next answer is World War I. All right.
Got it.
Technology was perfected by the British during the Battle of Britain.
Man.
Kate, you get drones.
Drones.
Oh, crap.
Gosh, this is hard. All those World War I guesses.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay, I'm ready.
So drones here in this definition means the first aerial torpedo.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna guess World War I.
Various experiments are carried out, but the first aerial torpedo was launched in 1918, World War I. Good job.
Way to stick with the plan.
Don't deviate.
Stay on target.
Dan, you get daylight savings time.
Oh.
Well, that was originally. I mean, I know daylight savings time was originally because like the like for harvesting in the fields and stuff like. Oh, they were trying to save money, right? So were they trying to save money during World War I or World War II? Is the question. I'm gonna say World War I.
Correct answer is World War I. Good job.
Yes. Nice.
All right.
So the theory for daylight saving was actually introduced by Benjamin Franklin in the 18th century, but it was first implemented by Germany in April 1916 as a measure to conserve coal.
Oh.
Oh, they did more work during the day by following the day.
Right. Jonathan, you get trench coats.
I'm going World War I because that's when trenches were invented.
I'm sure trenches existed prior to World War I.
Not in warfare.
But correct answer is World War I. Good job.
Yeah, World War I was the first use of trench warfare.
Trench warfare, yeah.
Yes, you said when trenches were invented.
I mean, yes. Yeah, I'm sticking with my statement.
I'm pretty sure they had aqueducts in Rome. Okay. Yes, this was used by British officers in trenches. That's
Are those, I mean, aqueducts, aren't all ducks swimming in water, honestly?
That's true.
Yeah.
Chris, you get photocopying.
Photocopying. Okay. So the first three, we're going to do a little of Jonathan's old school game theory. The first three were World War II.
Trademark.
The second three were World War I. I'm going to have to say World War II on this one.
Photocopying invented in World War II.
Oh, yes. Game theory for the win.
Yep. The technology was called xerography with an X, developed and eventually patented in 1937. Kate, you get penicillin, and specifically when penicillin was made stable for clinical use.
I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that's World War I.
Correct answer is World War II.
Oh, shucks.
Follow the trend.
I know.
Led by Australian scientist Howard Florey.
Prevented all the soldiers from getting the clap, I guess, right?
Yes.
Clap on, clap off.
Oh,
clap.
Had a totally different song. Just make it clap. All right.
So this is where this episode is going right now.
Speaking of the clap, Dan, you get the modern zipper.
Ooh. Okay, well, they had a lot of... I think I'm gonna say World War II because I think the button fly. I think they had like button fly pants and stuff in World War I. I could be wrong.
So the modern zipper was used by American sailors on money belts, and they were designed in 1914, World War I.
Oh, the trend is broken.
All right, Jonathan, you get Pilates.
So it's a guy. His name is Joseph Pilates. And I think that he was already doing business. You know what? I'm going to go World War II.
It was invented by German bodybuilder Joseph Pilates while internment under British control during World War I.
Darn it.
Oh, man.
His business stuff started around World War II, right after World War II, I think. Yeah, I couldn't. I knew what I was going for. I just couldn't get it.
You get half a point for identifying the inventor.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, Chris, you get helicopters.
Okay.
Renaissance.
It's true. Da Vinci.
Da Vinci did do the design for it, but never created one. Let's see. I know they were used for medivacs in Korea. So, but we need to go back a little bit further. I'm going to say World War I.
Helicopters were developed by the Germans in World War II.
Dang it. I'm out. I'm not warmed, Ben. I'm not warmed up at all.
Sorry.
I have to get me another coat.
Sorry.
Maybe you need a hat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's
I am
not
bald.
bad. Yep. All right, Kate, you get sanitary pads.
Is it because I'm a woman?
That's just how the questions
No,
fall,
it's because
Kate.
you're a
No, I know.
dentist. Come on, jeez.
Right? I think these are deceptive questions because they seem like they should be so easy. You know, I'm going to go with World War II for no good reason.
Sanitary pads were first invented as a surgical dressing in 1914, World War I. Nurses at the Red Cross found another use for them.
I suppose.
All right, Dan, you get, let's see, where are we? You get super glue.
Ooh, super glue.
I have an uneven number of questions, but it's okay. Actually, we'll do this as a group because I only have 2 questions left.
So you want to do this as a group?
Yeah, super glue.
Super glue.
I don't know, Dan. It's all you.
Put the pressure on me. I mean, there's only 2 choices. I think it's I suspect it may be World War II, but I've been wrong already, so...
Now we have to. There is a line between the use of super glue versus the use of crazy glue. We got to make sure that we straddle this line appropriately.
Yep.
What about Gorilla Glue?
That came later. Different wars.
Okay, gotcha.
Guerrilla warfare is a different
Oh, nice.
Dad jokes. Nothing but dad jokes.
That was Vietnam. So you know what? I'm going to say World War One, just because I think it's World War. I think it's World War II, but I've been wrong before, so I'm going to say World War One.
Superglue was invented by Harry Coover while working at Kodak manufacturing gun sights during World War II.
All right.
The next one is blood banks.
I would say that's a World War One.
I agree.
That's been around for a while.
I agree. That sounds like a Red Cross thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
American Army doctor consulting for the British opened the first blood bank in 1917. Good job.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As a team, we are perfect.
Yes. And the last one is freeze-dried coffee.
Well, I know Birdside started doing frozen vegetables in the late teens, so it's very possible freeze-dried coffee was World War One.
Yeah, I
think that's possible.
I was thinking World War I too, honestly.
1 or 2? You said 2.
Yeah. You know what I
also. So we good with 1?
Let's go 1.
Sure. Go for it.
All right.
Freeze-dried coffee was invented in World War II.
Boo.
Dang it.
Boo.
Who earns?
I always hate ending that on a boo, but that was your warm it up Chris question of the episode.
All right. Thank you, Amir. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
So as I said earlier, this is episode number 302. This is our first recording since 300, guys. That was a blast.
Indeed it was.
It was a crazy game. But we are excited to be back.
Especially with all the Spartans that you had on the episode, Jonathan. That was just weird.
Yes,
well, I mean, guys, I don't know why you did that.
You got to celebrate big sometimes, Chris.
This is Sparta!
So, if you missed episode 301 and don't want to miss episode 303, make sure you're a sergeant or higher in the Trivial Warfare Army. Just go to trivialwarfarearmy.com and sign up to get every episode we put out. And this is episode 302. Today's game is going to be Dan and Chris versus Kate and Jonathan. Ben is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
Round 1, question 1. Your category is, I'm too sexy for this podcast.
You really,
Yes,
honestly, yeah. I've thought that before, but I didn't want to tell you.
Well, I'll do my best. According to a November 2020 issue of People magazine, what movie star with a sports movie franchise and an MCU role to his credit is the sexiest man alive?
Dan, I'm 100% on that bad boy. Are you good with locking in?
Yes, I am.
All right. Kate, Jonathan, we're locked in.
All right. Kate,
Great.
before I start super guessing, do you have any knowledge of this?
I wish I had seen any movie that hasn't been animated in the last 7 years.
I feel for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have any good, guesses or advice on this one.
Okay, so there's lots of options for this, right? You have,
Right.
And so the sports part of this is the part that is going to be harder to remember. So I was thinking about Chris Hemsworth. Right. So Chris Hemsworth did the racing movie recently last year, but that doesn't feel like a franchise. I can't even think of a sports movie franchise. You know what I mean? What does that mean?
That's where I'm struggling too, because boy, you'd think maybe Chris Hemsworth might be the guy, but
Yeah.
I don't know a lot outside of the Marvel.
Another one. So other guys who are possible likely picks here is Chris Evans. I don't think it's RDJ. Could be Paul Rudd. Could be Jeremy Renner. Those are the ones that come to mind. Unless we're talking about bad guys. If it's bad guys, then you open up a lot more stuff.
Right.
Sports.
I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of input on that.
He said MCU role.
Uh-huh.
That's not the same as a starring person,
Can you think of any sports movie franchises?
No.
I know. I'm blanking too.
What is that? What kind of sports movie? Like the Bad News Bears? Remember the Titans 2, Electric Boogaloo?
It's Walter Matthau.
What are we even talking about? Sports movie franchises.
Can I just say I totally got hosed on the Chris Jeans, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth. They look amazing. They're Adonises. I am Chris Farley.
You're saying that like Chris Farley's a bad thing. I love Chris Farley.
You're alive.
I know, you're not wrong.
Hugo Weaving was in these movies. The guy who played Ronan, the guy who played Thanos.
I don't see any of those really fitting.
I don't know. Do you want to go Chris Hemsworth?
I think that's a great guess.
All right, we'll say Chris Hemsworth.
Yep.
Okay. As soon as he asked the question, I messed it over. Dan's good with it. He was the lead character in the 2 Creed movies. He played Killmonger and Black Panther. Is Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. What's the sports franchise?
Creed. Rocky.
Oh, Creed boxing.
Creed. Yeah, Creed 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Correct answer is Michael B. Jordan.
No, that's a good answer.
Yep.
It's the right answer.
Even if it was wrong, it would have been good.
Your second question in the round is Ben Murder's a hit.
There you go.
So soon.
So I don't have a lot of lyrics, but I'm going to give you a lot of info about this song. All right. The song was released in 1989. It peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was performed and co-written by a British female artist. All right, here are your lyrics. I did too much lying, wasted too much time. Now I'm here crying. I.
Okay, so go ahead and repeat the lyrics, bud. So
the lyrics are, I did too much lying, wasted too much time. Now I'm here crying. I. And that's the letter I 3 times. Now, I will accept 2 answers, the title of the song, or if you sing the chorus, because the chorus is slightly different from the song title.
Is it on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 that was number 3, or UK?
Yes, U.S. Billboard Hot 100.
Can we hear the lyrics again?
Can you sing them in the style of the song, please?
Do y'all need another hint?
Yes.
I know. I'm drawing a blank. To be very honest,
we have no clue right now.
We have a big bag of nothing.
So the extra hint I'll give you is that the lyrics are the channel that leads directly into the song's chorus.
Yeah, the lyrics are completely unfamiliar.
Oh man, I didn't mean to blank y'all.
Shoot.
Here are your lyrics again. I did too much lying, wasted too much time. Now I'm here crying. I.
May I phone a friend? His name is Google.
His name is Shazam.
Shazam, golly! I cannot think of a British female artist to save my dang life.
Right?
I can think of 60s ones.
I know, right?
80s, not 90s.
Dang, I keep giving you Americans. That's not helping. I'm going to kick myself. I'm sure I've heard this song. I'm positive.
Right. Time's up. Do y'all want a 3, 2, 1 your wild guesses?
Sure. We'd be happy to. Kate, do you want to say ours when he counts down?
Sure.
Dan, do you want to say ours?
Are we naming the artist or the
artist?
I want the name of the song.
Oh, I thought
okay.
you said you
I
wanted
was
either
gonna
the
say.
artist or the song.
No, he wanted the artist, or we could give him the chorus.
Either the title or singing the chorus. So
Oh,
just give me your wild guesses on your title.
Fudge.
Yep.
No, well,
All
that's
right,
cool.
so,
Okay.
All right.
Do you want me to take it, Kate?
Please.
Oh, sure.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
I would walk 500 miles.
The Proclaimers. All right. And our bad
You're
answer
supposed to
is-
say it at the same time. What are you doing? This was a 3, 2, 1.
What?
No one has one.
It's yes.
that was your answer.
Blank space was our answer.
Oh,
We do not have
fine.
one.
That's fine. You made me be the foolish one. It was supposed to cancel each other out.
Fine. Canadian maple bacon. All right.
You suck.
I think we're alone now. This is wrong, but
Too late.
All right. So 10 points to Ravenclaw. So I'm going to go ahead and sing this out, and I am going to make this one of my karaoke songs. I did too much lying, wasted too much time.
Hey,
Now I'm here crying. I been around the world, and I can't find my baby.
Who
I don't
sings
know
it?
where-
I don't
Lisa
know.
Stansfield.
Oh my gosh. It's not
I don't know that
So
song at all.
I'm actually, Kate, I'm disappointed in myself because that lyric went through my head as a Ben thing.
Really?
Yeah, it did. But I didn't realize we were going for the song part until the end, and it had already like gone out of my head. Yeah.
also,
So
I didn't realize that Lisa Stansfield was British.
Yeah.
So what's
Wow.
the name of the song? I've been around the world, or
So the title of the song is All Around the World.
And
okay.
yeah, no, I'm upset because
I have heard.
if I was locked into going song title, I might have, or the lyrics like he gave us the option for, I should have said that. I that definitely like floated through. Okay, that's kind of on us, Ben.
The reason why I gave you so much info is because this song technically doesn't label as a one-hit wonder, even though that's the only hit of hers that I remember from the time.
Right.
So I couldn't say one-hit wonder because that's technically not correct, and it was a little difficult to get there. But I knew I wanted to include this song. So
Sure.
Cool.
It was definitely not a mega hit.
Notice
was
I
for
did not
Ben.
use those words in this song. Your last question around is in Televisiones.
Television.
On Married with Children, Al Bundy frequently brags about his high school football career. In 1966, how many touchdowns did he score in the city championship game? And for 2 bonus points, what was the name of Bundy's high school?
Ben, what's funny is when you started reading the question, I had the name of the school immediately, and then you asked for the number of touchdowns, and I'm like, damn it!
Are you good with that? Do you have any other? I'm about 95%.
It's all you, Chris.
I've got 2.5
Lock
meow
in.
meows.
Oh, awesome.
All right, we're locked in, Jonathan and Kate.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know it's Polk County High.
Good. It's all you, Jonathan.
It's either 4 or 5 touchdowns in a single game, and I'm 70-30 on it being 5. So we'll say 5 touchdowns for Polk County High.
Dan, you said you never really watched the show, and I understand that completely. You have taste. Back in my high school days, I did not, and I watched it a lot. Ben, we put 4 touchdowns. Actually, I put 4 YD because I can't type to Dan. So hopefully you'll take the Y as a T. And then I didn't say Polk County High. I said Polk High. So you'll have to tell me if you'll take that or not.
Okay, so he did score 4 touchdowns in the city championship game.
Shoot.
Oh, we're sucking right now.
Nice.
And he did go to Polk High School. So I'm going to accept the bonus for both teams.
All right, cool.
Well, shout out to the bonus brigade for the 2-point bonus.
Bonus
there.
brigade!
But the bonus brigade's the only reason we have any points so far, Kate.
I know.
You know what's really upsetting for me? Last night I was playing a trivia game and I just played awful. And it's like, oh no, is this going to continue into today? This is not a good sign.
So the
Hopefully
answer
these
is so
things
far
don't
yes,
come in
Jonathan.
3.
Maybe you're not warmed up yet.
Amir. I blame Amir.
That's your fault, Amir.
There's never writing another warming up Chris question. Thanks, guys.
At the end of the first round, Chris and Dan lead Jonathan and Kate 22-2.
Woohoo!
That's got to be the weirdest first round score ever. 22-2.
We scored a safety.
You did.
A few points.
No, they scored a safety.
And that's only
watched
because you like snapped the ball out of the end zone. It wasn't even a tackle.
Yeah. All right, your second round begins with a question before and after.
Ooh.
This starts with a character in a martial arts comedy and ends with an RPG character created by Ben Schultz 20 years after the film premiered.
Huh?
Say it again.
This starts with a character in a martial arts comedy film and ends with an RPG character created by Ben Schultz 20 years after that film premiered. So these are two character names.
The second part being a separate film.
So the RPG would be a video game.
Got it.
Are you good, Dan, if we lock in?
Yes,
like I
absolutely.
said, that's not 3 meow meows. That's like 6 meow meow.
Meow!
Right.
Oh,
Jonathan is going to hurt himself with that thing.
Oh, he loves it. Dan and I are locked in, guys.
So I feel like Ben is dipping into the single well that he has. He's like one well that he dips to pull questions from, and every question he asks is like comes revolving around this well. So he loves talking about Bruce Leroy, the last Shogun of Harlem. And I don't know who Ben Schultz is, but if you told me he's the guy who did Leroy Jenkins, then I'm betting that's it. So we're going to lock in with Bruce Leroy Jenkins.
And we also locked in with Bruce Leroy Jenkins.
those are two pretty good renditions. Yeah, this question was actually inspired by Jonathan about 20 episodes ago. Jonathan actually said, we should do a before and after called Bruce Leroy Jenkins. And I'm like, let me write that down. Correct answer is Bruce Leroy Jenkins. Good job.
I am the last dragon.
And the Shogun of Harlem was Sho'nuff, not Bruce Leroy.
Oh, my bad.
My name is Sho'nuff, and I'm the Shogun of Harlem. I can't say without laughing. Okay, your second question in the round is in business.
And business is good.
A Monroney label, printed legibly and displayed clearly, is required to legally sell what type of merchandise?
Spell Monroney, please.
Monroney is spelled Monroney.
All right, we can lock in.
All right.
Okay. He said printed legibly. And so that means potentially it should have like it's probably handwritten or calligraphy or something like that. So could it be like artwork? Or I put stocks and bonds, but I think you said that aren't those printed out? And I think that's
I don't think it's stocks and bonds. I mean, you just see like a stock certificate or something like that.
Yeah,
those are printed.
I was just
I mean,
thinking
alcohol
those
has labels. Like they had the seal. Like if you buy like a bottle of scotch, they have like the stickers on them. But that's like the ABC board or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm really. It's just unfortunately, I really don't know where to go with it.
The only Monroney is it Monroney or Monroney?
Can you pronounce it again, Ben?
Monroney.
So it's not like Jenna Maroney from 30 Rock.
Oh, there you go. Well played. The Moni Maroney.
What would have a hand printed label on it? I was trying to think.
Could it be cigars?
Ooh, I like that because they have the wrappers on them.
Yeah.
I like cigars actually.
Okay. I'm not a fan. But
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I don't smoke cigars. I've tried them. Not a fan of cigars. I like that as a better answer. Better than alcohol.
All right, so let's say cigars, but if just in case he wants us to be more specific, you want to say like Cuban cigars?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's say cigars. And if he wants to be more specific, it has to be like a Cuban cigar or something.
Ben, are you good with us saying cigars, or do you need us to lock in more specific?
What's your answer?
Cigars.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So on our side, you guys use the word hand in your answer, but I don't remember hearing hand label in the question. So this sounded like a regulatory thing. And as a regulatory thing, we came up with maybe this is the name for the Surgeon General warning, and we said cigarettes.
Oh, okay. All right.
The hint I was going to give you is that these labels typically are 8.5 by 11.
Oh, Jesus.
These are displayed on new cars.
The sticker. Oh.
Yes.
Dang.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I didn't know that
There's
was
some-
what that was called.
Yeah, that.
There's a wide spectrum of options there.
Yeah, we needed something a little bit more to pin that one down, I think.
All
So
right.
you don't think that a label that was 8.5 by 11 would have helped you?
Yeah, no, that would have that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
would
That
have.
could have been in the
Original
original
question.
question without it being like a hint.
So Ben,
Okay.
is there a history on Maroni at all?
So Monroney was name of a senator.
Oh, okay.
And it was done as a regulation to prevent scalping at auto dealerships. They wanted to standardize and basically it's like a consumer protection. They wanted to make sure that consumers knew what the true price of the car was instead of, whatever the dealer set it at. Your last question round comes to us from Rob Warman.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Categories literature.
Literature.
Alternative rock band They Might Be Giants chose their name based on a quote from what famous 17th century novel?
Is that the whole question?
He did provide additional info. The original quote was referencing inanimate spinning structures.
All right, thank you.
Never mind that first one.
Yeah, I'm about to send it to you.
All right.
Are you good to lock in?
All right. We're locked in.
All right.
Okay. You said 17th century?
Correct.
Is that 17th century is Cervantes, Kate?
Gosh, I was thinking that was in the 1500s.
I thought it was 1500s too.
Yeah, but then when he said the additional information, I thought maybe that's what he was talking about.
I think you're
My
right.
other thought was Gulliver's Travels.
That was my first thought too.
That was yours too? Yeah. And so I think either one of those kind of makes sense. I was definitely thinking Gulliver's Travels until he added that little bit of information at the end.
I like Don Quixote.
Okay. I think that makes most sense.
All right, we'll do that. We'll say Don Quixote.
Okay. Chris and Dan?
So just like Kate mentioned, Chris first said Gulliver's Travels, and I was about to send him that too, and then Ben mentioned, and then I was like, wait, I think it's Don Quixote, and then while he was doing that, while I was texting Don Quixote, Ben added the other information about whatever that large spinning things, and Don Quixote definitely thought the windmills were giants, so we went with Don Quixote. Or Don Quixote, if you want to pronounce it incorrectly.
This is considered to be the first modern novel. It is Don Quixote.
Nice job, Kate.
Woo.
Yeah, game's playing a little hard today. That was the end of the round. Score check is Chris and Dan are leading 42-22.
Right.
42. Life, the universe, and everything.
That's right.
There you go. Hopefully that'll help you with this next question.
Just stay right at that 42 for the rest of the game.
That's right.
And you'll be just fine.
That's great advice. That's good strategy.
And Kate
The only
will be
way
our
to win.
friend forever.
For sure.
All right. Your third round begins with a question in I Can See the Music. On sheet music, the pitch of musical notes is determined by the placement of the note heads on a 5-line staff. A note head placed squarely on the bottom line of the staff represents what note?
Is this a treble clef or a bass clef?
Treble clef.
Treble
clef.
Yeah, we can lock that in, Kate.
Sounds good.
We're locked in, y'all.
All right, Dan, I know nothing about music except for that I can't sing it or play it. So I'm hoping you can help out here.
So the only thing I remember is there's like a mnemonic to remember like the notes, and it goes every good boy deserves fudge, and I think it goes from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
So it's either E or F, but so it goes E, G. The ones on the lines, and then there's the ones in between. So
Gotcha.
I don't really. I used to know how to read music back in the day when I played in the middle school band when I played the trumpet, but I don't really remember how to read music that well. So I think it may be E.
Okay.
But I'm not. Don't have a lot of thunder on it, but I know it goes every good boy deserves fudge, but I don't remember if it goes like bottom to top or top to bottom. So.
Little known fact: Chris in the 7th grade played the tuba at Seminole Middle School, but I had a wonderful teacher there that never taught me how to read sheet music. He just wrote down what vowels I had to push in order to play the note correctly, and so it was either 1-3 or 3 or 1 or whatever. And so yeah, I have no idea, but I'm happy to go with E. And then if it's anything else, we'll just do the Christmas storyline and go fudge.
So you're locked in with what answer?
E.
Okay.
Is the note. You wanted the note.
Eagle!
Correct.
Eagle!
Okay.
So it's funny, Kate. I was just visiting my mother for Thanksgiving, and we were playing a little piano. I took lessons back in the day. I'm terrible at it, but I can still read the treble clef. And you were on top of it even faster than I was.
I play the piano too, so that's how I know all that.
Yeah. So we said E.
Yeah, the mnemonic that I learned in was every good boy does fine. I like yours better, though. Correct answer is E.
Yeah.
Good job.
Right. Good job.
The start of the octave is C, but that's 2 steps down. There's a line that is drawn below the clef for C. So it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C.
Yep. Yeah, I remember the spaces between the lines spell face going upward. F-A-C.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Your second question in this round is in geography.
Geography.
Ljubljana is the capital of what European country?
Spell it, please.
Ljubljana. Ljubljana.
And you said what?
It is the capital of what European country?
That's just one I know.
Confidence?
100%.
Oh,
we got a meow meow.
We're locked in.
All right. Dan, they're locked in. They're a little on fire right now.
It's not Serbia.
Croatia?
Croatia. It could be Croatia. It's not Serbia. I think it's Sarajevo. Maybe a Serbia. It's like one of those like Serbia, Montenegro.
Is there Slovenia?
Slovenia. Yeah, there is. Oh, Slovenia. Oh, you know what? I think it's either Slovenia or Slovakia, but I don't remember which one. I think it might be Slovenia.
I
like Slovenia.
You want to do Slovenia?
Yeah, let's go with Slovenia.
All right, Ben, we're locked in with Slovenia and praying to God.
Kate, of all the people to come up with a country name when brainstorming, for Chris to come up with a name that helps them, it's just the dagger in the heart. It is a dagger in the heart.
Oh, European capitals are my jam. I was so excited for that question.
So go ahead and give the answer.
What was y'all's locked in answer?
We locked in with Slovenia.
Oh,
yes.
Correct answer is Slovenia.
Yes.
It was an insta-get for Kate.
I got lucky.
He was not going to name it if you didn't name it, Chris. And when you threw it out there, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe Chris came up with Slovenia.
Can I just say I pulled a Jonathan?
No, you didn't get it right. You just pulled a country name.
Okay, fair enough.
I confirmed it.
That's why I was asking. I'm not disagreeing with you, Jonathan. I was just asking if I pulled one, and the answer is clearly no.
So you can thank Melania.
You just dug around up there. You didn't pull anything out.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Dan pulled it out, though.
Wash your hands, though. It's gross.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Wait, I have hand sanitizer right here.
No. You need soap, bro. Get up under them fingernails, bro.
All right, fine. Got my 20 seconds coming in.
Showtitle302. You need soap, bro.
I was going to say get up under them fingernails. I think that's even better.
Nope.
All right. Your last question in the round is in food and hate.
Oh, Ben's changing it up a little bit on us. Where's your love, Ben? Where's your love?
Maybe later.
All right, fair enough.
YouTube sensation Uncle Roger is a character created by Malaysian-British comedian Nigel Ng, NG's last name, who went viral for criticizing celebrity chefs' preparation of what dish?
I am not good with YouTube questions. I just really am not.
Okay, I think we're going to lock in.
All right, good, because a lot of these words I can't spell, Dan, so I'm happy to be able to talk it out. So I was just, because I was thinking of the category food and hate, and then you mentioned that he's basically picking on celebrity chefs, so that's probably, I think you're right. So I don't think that's it. I don't think it's like an angry food dish. I just think it's...
Rage muffins.
It could just be just about anything. Could be like, I don't know.
Well, I guess
butter and jelly.
I know that Gordon Ramsay has videos on how to prepare perfect scrambled eggs. That's why I said scrambled eggs at the beginning of our conversation, because I've seen the video for his scrambled eggs, and I've tried to make it like 6 different times and screwed up all 6 of the times because he does like creme de creme in it, and it looks amazing.
Well, Chris,
but I can't make
you're supposed to make it with a British accent.
Oh yeah,
that's where you're messing up.
See, that's not going to happen either.
Yeah, I mean, like, unless you wanted to go with like a British food, I mean, there's like, bubble and squeak, or they say it's Malaysian British. So like, I don't know, Malaysia, I think of like Malay noodle dishes and like.
Yeah, and if you think
like
British,
that.
I mean, the typical British that you think is fish and chips or blood pudding or.
Oh yeah.
Bring me figgy pudding. You can't stuff any meat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The only
That's not
the only stuff I watch on YouTube is like if I need to repair something around the house and I have to watch a YouTube video that tells me how to do it.
I know, right?
I like the scrambled eggs. I think we should go with scrambled eggs because I really have.
Yeah, Ben. Because we really have no idea, or as my friend Joanne says, no idea, we're going to lock in with scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yes, like Frasier.
Kate, we had the same thought process. Why don't you talk through it?
Yep. And our only line of thinking was maybe it was something that had a tie to Malaysia. Neither one of us know too much about Malaysian food, but we thought maybe pho. Vietnam's close to that part of the world, so maybe something like pho that's kind of popular in vogue right now, maybe something like that. So we said pho.
Okay.
So again, the comedian is Nigel Ong. He's born in Malaysia, currently lives in the UK, and he created this character called Uncle Roger that has this thick Malaysian accent. He went viral for looking at a video of celebrity chef Harsha Patel preparing egg fried rice.
Oh wow!
We egg.
Even more simple.
Yep.
We kind of danced. We both danced around it a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think I would have come up with egg fried rice.
If it could be something that's simple to make that they were kind of overdoing, that's where we were at. So yeah, that fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we only combined forces.
Yeah.
he made videos of Harsha and then Jamie Oliver as well. And then he also did a critique of Gordon Ramsay preparing egg fried rice that was overwhelmingly positive. But he's hilarious. It's worth a look.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Okay, so that's another 10 points for Ravenclaw, unfortunately. Ravenclaw's catching up, actually. At the midpoint, Chris and Dan are leading Jonathan and Kate 62-42.
All right.
You have 42.
That's right.
You can say it 42 the rest of the game.
Your midpoint categories in movies.
Excellent.
In the closing narration of The Breakfast Club, Brian Johnson, in his letter to Mr. Vernon, uses 5 adjectives to describe each of the 5 detained students. For 4 points each, what adjectives did he use?
I take back my excellent.
I should probably say descriptors. That's probably a better word than adjectives.
Are you good to lock in now?
Yeah, we're good to lock in.
All right. So right now our baseline is slacker, jock, princess, nerd, and weirdo. And on nerd, so Kate, geek is possible too. I don't think it's brainy or smart or anything like that. And I think the thing that the reason that nerd stands out to me is that back in the time when this was created, jocks and nerds were like the opposite of each other. And that was very much how that I remember feeling like those are antithetical to each other. So that would be the word that you would likely use. If you used jock, you probably said nerd.
And I'm okay with that. It wasn't ringing any bells for me.
No, yeah, I know.
But that's okay. I mean, I don't really have anything better on that. So I'm okay going with nerd on that one.
Okay.
And I think we're pretty confident on jock, princess, and for whatever reason, weirdo sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, weirdo. I was trying to think how I would describe Ali Sheedy's character.
Right.
And goth wasn't a thing back then. We didn't say the word gothic to describe that sort of character. And so it was just weirdo. Was what I came up with. And then slacker, dropout. He wasn't a dropout at that point. I imagine he became a dropout at some point. I think it was slacker.
Yep. I think you're right. So I think we're good with all those 5.
All right. So, Ben, we're going to say slacker, jock, princess, nerd, and weirdo.
Okay.
I heard that. I tell you, weirdo is a good one.
Yeah, as soon as you said weirdo, I'm like, damn it, that's Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, because Ali Sheedy was the one that we struggled with the most.
Yeah, so the first ones I wrote down was jock, princess, nerd, and then I eventually came up with and then I came up with a burnout and brain.
Mm-hmm.
Although brain and nerd are probably the same thing, but we went with jock, princess, brain, nerd, and burnout instead of slacker. But slacker, I'm not sure. I feel like slacker might be right. I know weirdo is definitely right. As soon as you guys says it, I'm like, oh damn it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and we put nerd and brain just because we weren't sure which one it was, and since we really couldn't figure out Ali Sheedy's, we figured let's just hedge our bets and put both of them on there.
Mm-hmm.
So your 5 descriptors are brain, athlete, basket case, criminal, and princess.
Golly, only got one. I thought we were going to get points back, and we actually went further behind.
So we got 2. Okay. So we got brain and princess.
Basket case.
Kate suggested brain. What a stupid descriptor. Here's a brain. Shut up. Who did that movie? Who did that movie? Was that John Hughes?
Yes, it was John.
Shut up, John Hughes.
He's dead. Jonathan, he's dead.
That's fine. Well, he's not talking anymore, so that's all right. All right, that was disrespectful. I apologize.
I was about to say that nerd wasn't a thing then, but Revenge of the Nerds came out like around the
nerd
same
was
time,
a huge nerd was in the early back in the 60s and 50s.
We had the same conversation.
Revenge of the Nerds was 1980, actually.
We had the same conversation about goth too, and I was like, I don't think anyone said goth in 1985, so or 84 when that movie came out.
All right, after the midpoint, Chris and Dan have 70. Jonathan and Kate have 46.
Golly, Moses.
Your 4th round begins with a question in memoriam.
Oh, okay.
Alex Trebek is a name that carries a lot of weight in the trivia world, but Alex was his middle name. What was his first name?
Oh, I know I have seen this.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that until I was today years old when I found that out.
Dang, Chris, you were 50 when you found that out?
I'm 50. 50 years old.
I don't know where you got that from.
I thought he was 5. It's December 5th. Today is the 5th.
That was a character that Molly...
5 years old.
No, that was a character Molly Shannon created for Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
I'm 50.
Sally O'Malley.
That's right, yes.
I can
She's
punch.
50 years old.
I can punch.
Nice job, Kate.
I know my Molly Shannon.
Is she the one that did Superstar?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, well, she's hilarious.
Dan, I seriously don't know. I'm not going to be able to help you out on this at all. Like I said, today is the day I found that out.
I'm happy to log in with that. I don't think it's right. I don't know if it's right, but I definitely saw it after he died. I was on Jeopardy. I should know this, but we didn't talk about that.
Fair enough.
Reluctant.
All right, Kate. So we're trying to come up with traditionally Canadian names.
Just find something that sounds like it fits, right?
Maple bacon?
Yes. His first name is Canada. Canada Alex Trebek.
Canada.
Is it Pierre Trudeau, Alexander Trebek?
Ooh, Pierre isn't bad. Pierre Alex.
Dad, shut up.
Guy. Maybe it's Guy.
Pierre
Let's name
Alex.
hockey players. His name is Lemieux Alex Trebek.
His name is Jaromir Jagr Alex Trebek.
Jaromir Alex.
I don't know what his heritage is or something like that, but could it be something that's more of a traditional,
like a French?
with whatever kind of background or heritage?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't either. I feel like I've seen that before. Yeah, oh sure.
And maybe if we said the right thing, it would ring a bell, but I don't know that any of the ones we've come up with so far have sounded quite right.
Patrick. Joseph. You said Joseph.
I said Joseph. That was the first thing that came to mind, but I have zero thunder.
William. What are names that go well with Alex? Alexander, you know?
Right.
Jonathan, actually. Jonathan Alexander. Very nice name.
Yeah. Sounds like a news anchor or something.
Yeah. It's as I say that, I've never said those two words together, but that's really got a good ring to it.
Yeah. It's a lot of syllables.
Yeah, that's true.
I know you said John first off.
Yeah, I did. John Alex doesn't sound great to me. I mean, parents obviously don't always do things because they sound good.
Right.
If I was just straight up guessing, William would probably be my guess.
And I think if you're going, in terms of odds, that's a pretty common one for people to have and maybe disregard as a first name.
Yeah.
You want to go with William?
Sure.
Okay.
We're guessing William.
All right.
At first, Chris and I were like, well, Chris has texted me like, I have no idea. And I'm like, darn it, I know I saw it after he died. And first name that came to me was George, but I didn't really have a lot of thunder on it. But it seemed like it went together, like George Alexander Trebek. So we went with George.
Correct answer is George.
Oh, good job, Dan.
Massacred.
It was on the short list, but shoot.
Dan, now you could proudly say I was on Jeopardy, baby.
Yes. I was on Jeopardy with George Alexander Trebek.
Man.
20 years ago. A lifetime ago.
Your second question this round category is movies named the same.
Oh.
Ooh.
One is a 2008 film about an American billionaire turned superhero. The other is a 2011 film depicting the rise and fall of a British powerhouse. Both films share what word in their title? So I'm looking for a single word.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We want to lock that in?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we can.
in.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool. We can talk it out. Yeah, we were both on the same path for sure. I said Iron Man. You said Iron Lady. Because the second one was about Margaret Thatcher, correct?
Yeah, Meryl Streep.
Yep.
Played Margaret Thatcher in the Iron Lady.
Yeah. So Ben, Dan, and I jointly are locking in with Iron.
Okay.
It would have been fun if he had gone with Iron Giant on this one for the movie. That would have been great.
Oh, I love that. I love that movie.
We also instantly just thought, okay, well, 2008 billionaire superhero, that's Iron Man, and this is going to be Iron something, regardless of whatever else it is. So we said Iron.
Correct answer is Iron.
Good question, Ben. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was inspired by a friend of mine I went to college with. She was watching Iron Lady a few years back. I think she had a daughter who was like 8 or 9. And her daughter's like, what are you watching? She's like, Iron Lady. She's like, oh, what is that about? She was like, oh, she's about Margaret Thatcher. It's like, why do they call her Iron Lady? She's like, well, because she was tough. She was strong. Her daughter's like, so she's not made out of iron or anything? Not interested. She walked out of the room. I'm like,
she's not a robot.
She's not a robot. No. Okay. All right. Your last question in the round is in sports.
Board ball.
In 1963, pitcher Mario Ruiz accomplished what feat in a mid-season Mexican League game? An event so rare that it has never occurred in Major League Baseball. This feat cannot be achieved in a single day.
Whoa.
So he didn't, by definition, he didn't achieve it in a single day either. He just completed it in this game.
That is correct.
Okay.
Ben, we're locked in.
Okay.
So, yeah, Kate, you asked if I thought it was going to be a pitching record, and I think because it's a pitcher, it does make sense for it to be a pitching record. It can't be consecutive no-hitters. It can't be like 2 straight no-hitters because there were 2 straight perfect games in MLB history before.
Mm-hmm. But do you think it's a record where he says it's never been repeated?
Read the wording of the question again, Ben.
In 1963, pitcher Mario Ruiz accomplished what feat in a mid-season Mexican League game? An event so rare that it has never occurred in Major League Baseball.
So not repeated.
More like an event
occurred.
rather than a record, I feel like.
Yeah, but it can't be a single event because it had to take more than one game. So it had to be an accumulation of something.
Let me clarify.
If you clarify, they have to unlock.
Accomplish. No, I'm just going to repeat what I've already said. Pitcher Mario Ruiz accomplished what feat in a mid-season Mexican League game? This feat cannot be accomplished in one day.
Yes, so it had to take more than one day to do.
Did the game last more than one day?
I don't know how that would. I don't know how we could use that.
I know. Like, did it stretch into another day or something like that? And I don't know why that would happen, but where he says it's in a certain game, but it could not be accomplished in one day.
Yeah, he said, so I like what you're picking up on there. He did say the word day instead of game, but I don't know. This is going to break down to really semantic kind of detail crap, and I don't think that he's asking a question about really semantic detailed crap.
I think you're right.
I honestly, I don't know. I want to get out of the question. So let's say set a consecutive strikeouts record and move on.
Okay.
All right. We're locked in.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a fairly similar conversation. We went in like consecutive no-hitters, but that's been done in the MLB. Then we talked about multiple complete games in a row, but that's been done. So what we ended up just saying is that he did back-to-back perfect games because we knew back-to-back no-hitters had occurred. I don't remember back-to-back perfect games ever happening in the MLB.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Vandermeer did it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Really?
Well, we'll find out in a second, but we said back-to-back perfect games.
So in 1963, pitcher Mario Ruiz became the only person known in history to be the winning pitcher and the losing pitcher in the same game.
What?
Okay.
How is that possible?
So here's the story. In 1963, he was pitching for, we'll call them Team A. They were hosting Team B. He was a starting pitcher for Team A, and they were leading 3-2 with 2 runners on base. There was an electrical problem at the stadium that caused the game to be suspended at the top of the 5th inning. So they had to postpone the game to be played later in the season. When the game was played later, Ruiz was traded to the other team. So when they resumed the game, there was a single that caused 2 of the runners to score because they were ahead 3-2 when the game was suspended. 2 of the runners that he left on base scored, so the game now went to 4-3 in favor of Team B, which was his new team. He came in and closed out the game, so he was recorded as the winning pitcher because they were ahead when he ended the game. But he was also the losing pitcher because the runners that he left on base scored when the game was resumed.
Wow.
So he was the winning pitcher and the losing pitcher in the same game.
I love that.
Okay.
There's no way I would have gotten that, but I love it.
Never had this much silence after a question.
That's the end of the 4th round?
That is the end of the 4th round. Chris and Dan are leading 90-56.
5th round. 5th round is our comeback time.
Is that your jam?
I guess.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter jelly. What a baseball bat.
I never understood the baseball bat part of that.
It's not supposed to make sense. Just think of like basically any acid song from any of those like bands. It's not supposed to make sense. Just
Fair enough.
Your 5th round is the Rob Warman round.
Thank you, Rob.
Ben stealing my shtick.
Your first question is in art. The Venus de Milo statue is currently armless, but when it was discovered in 1820, it was accompanied by fragments of her left arm and left hand. What item was the statue holding in her left hand?
Now I got Bananarama stuck in my head. Thanks, Ben.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your fire.
Also shocking blue in the 60s.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did it first.
All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in with that then. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm perfectly content with that, bro.
Okay.
Kate,
we're locked in.
Kate, you and I feel the same way. We're like, I mean, we can say this. I don't know. I don't think it's right, but we can say it.
Yeah.
I feel
Yep,
like
I know.
So I feel like I've seen a goof in a cartoon like Animaniacs or something like that, where there was the statue of the Venus de Milo that had arms, and then something happened and they cracked off and
knocked the arm off.
And she stuck without them. And
I think you're right.
In my mind's eye, I'm picturing her holding a harp, like one of those U-shaped harps with a line across the top and like a cupid almost.
I think a harp sounds really good. I would have never come up with that, but when you said it, it sounded like definitely something that's plausible.
I have that effect on people. Because I said it, it sounds like it might be right, and then it turns out it's wrong, and everybody's like, you led me wrong.
But I don't know that anything else we've come up with sounds better than that.
I agree. All right, let's go harp.
Dan and I have decided we'd like to crib that answer.
Wrong show.
Oh, crap. Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I really had no idea.
So Chris and I went back and forth. First he said spear, and I was like, well, I don't know. I thought maybe a wreath. And then we were like, well, what is Venus the goddess of? Venus is the goddess of love, so probably not a spear because that's like warlike. So we were gonna go. I said maybe laurel wreath, but I was gonna say wreath. And if you want to be more specific, we can get more specific. But we went with wreath.
Venus de Milo was holding an apple in her hand.
Doggone it!
Oh,
I guess she was hungry.
Well, the apple isn't the apple symbolic, like a fruit of love kind of thing. Like it
Maybe, I don't
resembles a
know.
heart.
I like your
possibly.
answer. I was thinking like a lyre or something, but then no, that would be like
Mhm.
if it was one of the muses or something like that.
Right.
But
Or we might be thinking of another statue.
There must
honestly.
be a statue with a woman holding a harp.
Yeah, I agree, Kate. I agree.
And if
10
not, we need to
points.
sculpt one.
Right. I'll get right on that.
All right. You can make it out of bonding.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Man, I didn't realize Kate had that kind of game. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
She has the tools. Well, time will tell if she
Right.
has the game.
10 points to Ravenclaw. I want to say shout out to Katie Sikelski, who helps coordinate all of our recordings. I feel like the next recording that we have, I'm going to be like, yeah, I can host. The case and be like, nope, Ben, we don't need you to host. Take a break. You destroyed all our players last time. You're in timeout until 2021.
these are good questions. There's nothing wrong with the questions.
We love you, Katie.
We love you, Katie.
All right, your second question from Rob Warman is in food and love.
Oh, there we go.
What ingredient, heavily relied upon by bakers for flavoring and texture, typically consists of baking soda and cream of tartar?
Kate, I feel like I want to go with that.
Okay.
You good with that?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right, we're going to lock in.
Well, we have a lot of thoughts. So
Well,
I know.
I had a lot of thoughts. You just kept saying no.
Well, okay. So like, speaking of Katie, another shout out to Katie. In the Inkling that just finished like a couple weeks ago,
I was
there was a
thinking about this
question
too.
which she gave the chemical formula, which it's like NH, I don't know, a bunch of C's and N's or something like that, and it was cream of tartar, which I was really happy I came up with, and the question was something like used as a stiffener in whipped cream or in baking, like that. So I know cream of tartar is used to like stiffen things.
Yeah,
But
it is.
how would you? What happens when you put that with baking soda? I mean, there's obviously some kind of chemical reaction. Baking
wait,
soda is like a
if that's-
bicarbonate.
Okay, but Dan, if that's supposed to be a baking things, could it be meringue?
Ooh,
Because remember, that doesn't have much flavoring on that. I mean, the meringue part of it
meringue is
doesn't.
made from egg whites. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Oh, that's
meringue
right. Yeah,
is
that is egg whites. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife makes these amazing meringue cookies.
Okay.
Um,
So I think we need to go sourdough, unless you have a better answer, Dan.
that's fine. Let's just go with sourdough and be done with
All
it.
right. All right, we're locked in with sourdough, Ben.
Okay.
So, Kate, you and I didn't have much to start with, right?
Right.
I was thinking about the Inkling too, Dan, and that's the Rachel. Rachel and I team up on that, and she got cream of tartar, and that's when I learned that was a powder. So the first thing that we said is, okay, these are two powders, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, and then it's like, well, I mean, it should be a powder, and then baking soda and baking powder came up. And we kind of thought that maybe this could be baking powder rebranded. Take these bad names for something and put a name like baking powder to make it easier to sell. And so we said baking powder.
Oh, okay.
I like that answer a lot. I thought about baking powder, but I never sent it to Chris.
Yeah, if you take baking soda and add cream of tartar, you get baking powder. Good job.
All right. Way to go,
Nice.
Jonathan.
How about that?
I think that right answer has allowed me to be able to host the next show. So thank you. Your last question, fifth round, is in astronomy, also known as science.
Science!
Name the only planet in our solar system where one day on the planet is longer than 1 year.
All right, Dan, if you're good, we're good. I'm good.
Yeah, let's lock in with that.
All right, we're locked in.
So, Kate, you said you were just reading something like this to your kids. What was that about?
Well, my 7-year-old loves outer space, and I'm trying to make him into a trivia kid, and he's kind of liking it so far. So, but no, we were just reading recently, and Jonathan, you and I talked about Mercury, closest to the sun, shortest year, hopefully being closest to the sun, smallest orbit. So we think maybe it is Mercury.
Okay.
We took the exact opposite side of that, and we chose Uranus.
Or Uranus.
Or Uranus.
A
fine, too.
year on Uranus probably feels unending.
Well played.
The only planet in our solar system where a day is longer than a year is Venus.
Oh.
Man.
We felt like it had to be one of the close ones
one
because
of those inners.
you have to get around the sun quickly. Right. Like Uranus orbits the sun. I think it's years and years. And Earth years, Uranus takes many, many, many years to get around.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
Yeah, well, shoot. Okay, at the end of the 5th round.
Yeah, Chris and Dan have 90. Jonathan and Kate have 66.
All right.
And Ravenclaw has 60.
We were 0 for that. We were 0 for that Rob Worman round.
Yeah.
Rob wasn't very kind to you guys.
No, he wasn't.
I have to send him a note about that.
I'd like to worry with Rob after the show.
All right.
I still blame Amir.
Going all the way back.
They're not warm.
All right. Your 6th round is a question in sports. It's the first
Sport ball.
Sports.
Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, recently claimed the record for the most wins by a quarterback in First Energy Stadium, which is the Cleveland Browns Stadium, with 12 wins. Who was the previous holder of that record, who won all 11 games on the road?
All right, so you want to go the second one, Dan?
Yeah, I'll go with the second one.
I feel better with the second one than the first one.
Okay.
All right, we're locked in.
So I'm going to read your mind, Chris and Dan. You guys were debating between Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Flacco, and you picked between those two quarterbacks, the same as we're picking between those quarterbacks, because it had to be somebody who played in their division for more than 11 years. So right. I know Roethlisberger, I believe Roethlisberger was drafted in the 2004 draft. It might have been 2006, but that gives him 13 or 14 years to win 11 games, and he wouldn't have won the one where he was injured. Yep. So we said Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay.
Actually, you're super close. I should have probably thought of Flacco, but all I keep thinking of is the Flacco of this year, who sucks. And so I actually said Tom Brady, but I quickly erased that portion of it because, again, they don't play every single year. But we did lock in with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he played his college ball in Ohio, and he has a chance to actually reclaim a tie at the end of the season. It is Ben Roethlisberger.
All right.
Big Ben.
Your second question round is in Televisiones.
Television.
Good Morning Miss Bliss was a precursor to what 90s TV sitcom, which featured much of the teenage cast from the original show? And there's a bonus. Miss Bliss was played by what actress, perhaps best known for her teenage roles in the 1961 film?
Dude, we could lock in both. I mean, we could 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1 both, bro.
I agree, dude.
All right, Ben, so we'll do the first one and then we'll do the bonus. Are you cool with that,
Yes.
Jonathan?
Let's have 3, 2, 1 answer. 3, 2, 1 answer.
All right, Ben,
it'll be our first ever double 3, 2, 1 and a single question.
I like it.
There you go,
Okay.
Ben. Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Saved by the Bell.
3, 2, 1.
Haley Mills.
Great job, both teams.
All right.
Shout out to the bonus brigade.
It's like I say, the easy questions for last, huh?
Chris is going to the bonus brigade concert later.
Isn't there a new Saved by the Bell or something rebooted?
There
again?
is, and it's awful. Oh, it's so bad.
I maintain it's probably of the same level and quality as the original Saved by the Bell.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong because the original Saved by the Bell is cringeworthy now.
We have fond memories of it, but it clearly wasn't good even when we were watching it.
Well, I think so. I think a lot of that has to do with Saved by the Bell was groundbreaking at the time in terms of teenage sitcoms and the situations they were in. And we think fondly of it because of nostalgia. But if you're just repeating that same formula, it's not groundbreaking anymore. So all you're left with is bad acting.
I don't agree that it's groundbreaking. Happy Days was a teenage sitcom before they got older.
But they weren't dealing with the types of situations that they faced with Saved by the Bell. I mean, they were dealing with addiction and divorce and a lot of heavy stuff.
I'm so excited.
Different Strokes covered all that. Get out of here. Groundbreaking my butt.
We got to roll.
Your penultimate question is the Showdown.
Showdown.
Ooh.
All right. So here are your rules for the Showdown. I'm going to ask a question that has multiple correct answers. Each team will be given 3 minutes to submit a list of answers. The team with the most correct answers.
List of answer. Here's your one answer on my list.
Bode well.
I want cream of tartar. List of answer. The team with the most correct answers gets 10 points. Any list with an incorrect answer will be disqualified. Now, if there's a tie, both teams will get the points. And Jonathan and Kate, since you're trailing, you can choose between two categories.
Ooh.
I have reality television or geography.
Oh, Kate, I think we got to go
I'm
to
definitely a
geography,
geography
right?
person.
Yeah, you
Yep.
seem like you're
If that's
solid
okay
at
with
geography.
you,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
Here's your geography question. Let me get
European
the timer.
capitals. Let's do this.
We already had that.
I have a list of the 15 present-day countries that are former members of the USSR. All right.
So that's what you want?
I want countries up to 15, and your time starts now.
Dan, if you want to, just start.
I'm sending you a bunch right now.
Oh, okay. I'm going to wait for yours, and then I'll say I'm probably going to agree with you.
15 seconds.
All right, just send it to
time
you.
is up.
And that last one that I sent, I think it's up to you if you want to do that or not, Jonathan.
If
Dan,
you're unsure of it, then you're
Okay, let's take it off then.
okay.
Dan,
Perfect.
just say yes or no if you want me to cross off one.
I think those are good.
Okay, I'm sending it to Ben now.
All right.
And unlike Jonathan's handwriting, you should be able to read mine, Ben.
I said Ukraine, Belarus, Latvia, Lithuania, Russia, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Tajikistan.
Got it. Okay. So that was 11.
That was 11.
Those are 11 correct answers.
Hell yes.
All right, we only got 10.
Well done, Kate.
So if they're all correct.
Woo.
And Chris sent Ukraine, Moldova, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Belarus, Georgia, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, and Kazakhstan. Those are 10 correct answers.
You were right. We forgot Russia.
If we put Russia, we would have tied.
I was like, duh.
We left off Azerbaijan and Moldova. They were on our list, but we weren't 100% on them, so we left them off.
Yep.
The ones you didn't name were Armenia.
There you go, Jonathan.
Okay.
Not on my list, but it was one of the other ones that I threw out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slovenia and Slovakia too.
No.
Yeah, you named the Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan.
That's the one I couldn't think of.
I could never
Kyrgyzstan.
say it. Yep, those are the other ones. And then I think one of you said, did either of you say Ukraine?
Yes.
we
Yes,
both said
we did,
Ukraine.
yeah.
You said Ukraine.
All right.
Yeah, so Slovakia had not won, so I was wrong.
Okay. I thought about Slovakia and Slovenia. That came up earlier.
So, Kate, once
figured it was
we
not gonna be
eliminated Croatia and Bosnia Herzegovina, everything else we said was on the list.
Yep.
That's. I'm impressed. This
Your
was
first
great.
list was perfect, and then we kind of just rounded it out there. That's
I
awesome.
loved this.
Yeah.
This was good.
Nice job.
I like
11
that.
out of 15 is pretty impressive, especially under a time crunch.
Yeah.
Going into the gauntlet, Chris and Dan have 112. Jonathan and Kate have closed distance and have 98.
Ooh.
So there's a 14-point difference there.
14 points.
That could have been a lot worse.
I thought we were up by like 30. How was that?
You were up.
We
by
had
20,
9
You were up by 24,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Okay.
gained 22 points, and we gained 32 points.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. All right. I just
I
was
guess we
counting
got the
then.
2 bonus for Haley Mills, right? Yep.
Yeah, y'all had a lot of love in the fourth
Bonus
what was it,
brigade.
fifth round, fourth round. A lot of zeros. Love in tennis.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Your gauntlet category is Martin.
My
Again, scores are 112 to 98.
All right, we are locked in.
Our wager is locked in.
I think our wager is locked in.
Okay. Here's your first question in the gauntlet. Global icon Ricky Martin started his music career as a member of what band?
All right, we are locked in.
Yeah, we're locked in.
I would have got there eventually, but boy, it wasn't coming to the top of my brain.
We are locked in as well.
Here's your second question. On the TV show Martin, what character is Martin's love interest?
Okay, we can lock that in.
Okay. Oh, okay. You good with that?
Yeah, it's on you.
Yeah, 'cause
that one's on you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say because I just remember him going, Gina, Gina.
Okay.
Gilbert Godfrey does Martin.
I know that's such an awful. For those who love the show Martin, I just want to apologize for my my awkwardness.
For the
Anyway.
folks who love the show Trivial Warfare, I'd like to apologize for that imitation.
We are locked in.
Okay. Here's your final question on the gauntlet. What ingredient is added to a martini to make it dirty? And I want a specific ingredient.
Stupid alcohol questions, Ben. Thought you loved me.
You're confident in that one? I'm like 80% on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Let's do it.
Let's do that. We're locked in.
All right. Our
Locked in.
Our answer's locked in. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to read the questions back, and you'll give me your answers. Global icon Ricky Martin started his music career as a member of what band? Chris and Dan, what did you say?
Dan and I typed it out together at the same time. We said Menudo.
Jonathan and Kate?
My mom has cans of this on her bottom shelf in the pantry. We said Menudo.
Cans of Ricky Martin?
No, cans of Menudo. It's a food.
No,
is it? No, is it?
It is.
I didn't know.
It's like
no,
a
I didn't
stew
know
or
that.
It's
Yeah.
like
This
a
is news to me.
bean-based dish.
Yeah.
You can get
Oh,
cans
that's
of it
cool.
at your local grocer in the international aisle.
I am totally looking that up next time I don't go to grocery stores anymore.
On the TV show Martin, who was Martin's love interest? Jonathan and Kate, what did you say?
I didn't know anything about this. Jonathan knew it right away, though.
I said, Gina!
Chris and Dan?
Like Kate, I didn't know anything about. I never watched Martin. This is all Chris.
Yeah, it took me a second, but I was just like, come on. I channeled my inner Martin Lawrence and heard Gina. And so that's
Right.
what we locked in with.
Yeah, Joel, good luck adjusting your levels on this show. What ingredient is added to a martini to make it dirty? Chris and Dan, what did you say?
Yeah, so I appreciate Ben asking a wheelhouse question for me. So thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
He asked a TV question.
Well, that's true. He did. That's a valid point. But yeah, alcohol and me, we don't mix. So I passed it over to Dan.
So we went back and forth. Actually, the first thing that Chris sent me was olive. I'm like, well, there is olive in martini, and I know a martini is gin and vermouth, and we if you have an onion, it's a Gibson. And then we eventually came back around and we said olive.
You said
we locked in with olive.
Olive, okay. And Jonathan and Kate.
Kate, you were fast on this one.
We said olive juice. We believe that's what gives it the cloudy look, and usually it's garnished with an olive as well.
Oh, okay.
All right. So here are your answers. Ricky Martin started his music career as a member of a band apparently named after beans. It is Menudo.
It is the musical fruit.
There you go. TV show Martin's love interest is Gina. I don't want to fight no bone. It is Gina.
Played by the awesome Tisha Campbell.
Tisha Campbell. Yes, indeed. Great show. I'm going to say that's the funniest sitcom of the 90s. Funnier than anything you've watched.
Oh.
It's funnier than any other sitcom from the 90s.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
It is. Fight me. Y'all fight me on a TWA Facebook group. Fight me.
Done.
All right. And then if you want to make a martini dirty, now martinis are normally garnished with olives, but if you want to make it dirty, you can add either brine or olive juice.
Nice.
Nice job.
What is brine?
It's olive juice.
Okay. Well, like if you have pickles, it's like the pickles are in the water the pickles are in, that's brine.
Water and salt.
It's salt water, basically, yeah.
Well done, you two. That
nice
was awesome.
job.
All right.
All right. So it's going to come down to wagers here.
I don't think it is, but let's find out.
Chris and Dan, what did you wager?
Yeah, we talked about how hard this game played, and we really thought that because Ben didn't really think the game played hard, but it played hard. So we figured that the gauntlet was going to be played around the same level and everything like that. Dan talked about betting zero, and betting zero we always joked originally about the champions bet zero, but just in case you guys did a sort of a small bet to try to get over us, I convinced Dan, and probably to our peril, that to bet 13.
Oh, you took the risk of missing it and losing if we bet zero. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. 13 was your perfect bet. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad. I got confused because of the 12 and the 98.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Chris and Dan, you end with 99. So Jonathan and Kate, if you wagered one, you tie. If you wagered more than one, you win.
So if we got it right, we were going to win regardless because we bet 42.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah, we knew that.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah,
Right, the universe and everything again.
if you wanted to lock us out, we couldn't do anything about it. So we needed to defend against a wager of 13. And a lot of times the team will tack on a little bit more in case somebody goes to win by 1 point. And so we wanted to cover against that. And with 42 points added, we will finish with a final score of 140 to 99.
Nice job, you two. Nice job.
Right.
Hey, we lost the whole game
I know.
until the very end.
Don't call it a comeback.
It was a comeback. It was definitely a comeback. At the end of round 5, we had 66 whole points. Y'all, that's crazy.
Indeed.
Chris is salty. Look at him. He ain't smiling. He ain't talking.
No, I'm sorry. No, I am smiling. I have this thing in front of my face. No,
I see your whole face. That's not blocking me.
But no, that was a great final by you guys. Well done. Well done.
Game. All right, before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs or promote causes they care about. Kate, we'll start with you.
Awesome. Well, I don't have anything major to say, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. This is special for me. I was trying to take it all in, and I'm just so excited that I got to be part of your show today. Shout out to my staff that I work with at my office because they know my love for trivia, and I'm always throwing out trivia questions to my patients, and so they know kind of my inner nerd, and I wouldn't doubt if some of them listen to this episode. So thank you guys.
I have a feeling this is going to be playing over loudspeakers at a dentist's office in Nebraska, y'all.
Indeed.
That's
it might happen.
Oh, well, you were a lot of fun to have on. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And Dan, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I had a blast on the show. I mean, I don't have any, I already talked about Guiding Eyes for the Blind that we're raising a dog for. So guidingeyes.org is their website. So if you want a dog and you're in the Northeast area, you can get a puppy and raise a puppy. And everybody wear a mask and stay safe in the pandemic. That's all else I can say. And shout out to my family, to my wife, Donna, and my kids, Nico and Leah.
Very cool. All right, well, that is going to wrap us up. We'll see you again on episode number 303. Until then, that's Chris, that's Ben, that's Dan, that's Kate, I'm Jonathan. And this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.
I'm going to love dirty martinis, except for drinking them, but I'm going to love to look at them now.
I really should have shouted out to my husband because he's like the bartender in the family. But
there you go.
Oh,
he's great. He's got all the kids this morning, so he deserves all the praise today.
Man, and you didn't give him a shout out or anything.
I know. I feel really guilty about that.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Wade.
Wade,
Goodwin.
great job being the dad today, handling business.
That's
Good
right.
job.
Right.
This might be an outtake, but it'll be in there. Joel will keep it in there.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I mean, you can just pretend he never said it, and Joel can make it all better.
That's cool. No. That was me joking with Chris.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being serious, actually.
Oh, no. That's why I laughed afterwards to let you know I was joking.
All right, fine.
I've had caffeine and sugar this morning, so I'm ready to roll.
I've literally seen Ben punch somebody in the mouth and then laughed afterwards, so I don't think that's a fair.
When did that happen?
Wow.
You were drunk. You don't remember.
I'm about to say, how drunk
Ben
was
there?
I?
Was that during an After Dark episode?
Yes.
Yes. I don't remember punching anyone.
It was a toilet. It had a mouth, though.
Oh, I punched the toilet with my mouth. Wow. Okay.
Maybe you do need a dentist then.
Yeah. There you go. It is ceramic.